I recently stayed at the Yacht Club, Animal Kingdom Lodge and Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. But which one did I like best? And where would I probably not stay again? Find out today here on Walt Disney World, Adults Only. Welcome your Royal Highnesses, I'm Dan and you're watching Walt Disney World, Adults Only. Today we're going to talk about my last Walt Disney World trip, which was in September last year. And I was lucky enough to stay at 3 deluxe Disney resorts. So we got to stay at the Yacht Club first, then on to Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jambo House, and then we moved for the final leg of our trip onto the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. So very lucky indeed, got to stay at 3 amazing hotels. And the purpose of today's video is to give you the pros and the cons of each, and to tell you kind of what my impressions were of those 3 resorts and where I probably wouldn't stay again. And hopefully this video will be useful to you so you can make up your own mind as to which of these resorts you might want to stay at yourself on a future trip. Before I start, tell me down in the comments, have you stayed at these resorts? What was your impression of them? Or are they on your list for a future trip? So let me start with the Yacht Club, and I will tell you right here, right now, this was a teenager dream realised to stay here. I want to stay here since I was there back in 1994 as a teenager. I saw it, I saw the lighthouse, I saw how perfect, how beautiful it looked, and I really wanted to stay there. So this was a dream realised. I've never stayed there before, visited lots and lots of times, been in the lobby, been in the restaurants there, so to actually stay there was a dream come true, and we got to stay at the Yacht Club for 5 nights. So let's start on a positive and let's start with the pros. So first of all, we had a water view, which was a little bit more. It wasn't a lot more to pay for a water view, but I think it was absolutely worth the money we paid for it. So we got a view of Crescent Lake, but also of the pool too. Now this wasn't the view I asked for. I did sign up to touringplans.com and submit a room request for the room I wanted. We didn't get that room, and initially when I walked in I was like, oh no, I didn't get the room I wanted, and I was all kind of a little bit first world upset. But I got over myself really quickly. We could also see the fireworks at night from Epcot, so a really amazing view. Next, the room was really nice. It was a really nice size, it was well decorated, it was well themed, it was clean, it was comfortable, it had everything in there that we needed, and I have to say that a pro was the room. It was just so nice. The kind of theming wasn't too much, it wasn't too Disney, but there were little kind of subtle little Mickey heads on the ships and the boats and the artwork and stuff. There were little kind of subtle touches which I appreciated. It was really nice. It had a kind of nautical feel to it without being too much, if that makes sense. Another huge pro of staying here was being able to walk to Epcot. Now, the walk from the lobby to Epcot was further than I anticipated it might be. I was in my head thinking it was a little 5-minute stroll. It wasn't a 5-minute stroll. It was a good 10 to 15 minute walk at a kind of a good pace. So it's not right on the doorstep of Epcot, but you can walk there, and for me that was a huge benefit. And of course on that walk you've got the beach club to look at, you've got the boardwalk to look at, you've got Crescent Lake, you've got the Skyliner to watch. So actually the walk is really nice. For those of you that know me, who have seen me before, you will know how much I dislike Disney buses. I am not a fan of bus transportation, and any resort that only offers bus transportation is probably not a resort that I'm going to put high on my list. So having the boat at the Yacht Club was a huge pro. Now, it probably wasn't worth walking up the pier to the lighthouse and waiting for a boat to get to Epcot, because by the time you kind of did that, waited, got on the boat, waited for the boat to depart, then docked, and you could have walked there quicker. So for me, it was not worth waiting for a boat to get to Epcot, but it was nice to have the option. However, to Hollywood Studios, it was totally worth it. I would say the boat journey to Hollywood Studios probably about 15 minutes in total. But yeah, it was so nice to walk out the back of the hotel, along that little jetty to the lighthouse, and then get on the boat, and it stopped off, I think it stopped at Boardwalk, Swan and Dolphin, and then it stopped at Hollywood Studios. So it was a really nice way to arrive. So yeah, the boat transportation is a big thumbs up. My next pro is going to be the Ale and Compass breakfast. Oh my goodness, it was such a good breakfast, reasonably priced, some really unique options, really tasty. So Ayland Compass breakfast, that restaurant, I should have gone for dinner as well, but there wasn't the time. But yeah, that restaurant, it was a huge thumbs up as well. Now, the next pro at the Yacht Club has got to be Stormalong Bay. I have heard this described by many people as being the best pool at Walt Disney World. And for me, that is now confirmed. I don't think I'm going to find a swimming pool that is anywhere near as good as Stormalong Bay. So, what is Stormalong Bay? It's a shared pool between the yacht and the beach club. They do really tightly restrict access to it. So you have to go and show you are staying at either the yacht and beach club, and then they give you like a wristband. So nobody else is getting into that pool other than people staying at the resort. And I understand why. So it's got a sand bottom as you walk in, which is really nice. I'm not sure you get that anywhere else at Disney. It's got its own lazy river with the little kind of float seats you can sit on and just bob round. It's got a slide, it's got a volleyball net where you can play volleyball. We didn't. But honestly, this pool is just so massive and so much fun. So yeah, for me, a huge benefit of staying at the Yacht Club was that Stormalong Bay pool. Brilliant. Now, I mentioned the beach club as well. Well, the two resorts are connected. So you're kind of getting 2 for 1, which I really liked as well, because the beach club had a completely different vibe and different feel. So you could kind of walk from the yacht club straight into the beach club and get a completely different Disney experience. And of course, the beach club has got some amazing restaurants as well. So not only are you getting the benefit of Ayland Compass, and if you like the Yachtsman, I've not been to the Yachtsman yet, but the Yachtsman also at the yacht club, but you've also got the options at the beach club as well. So for me, 2 for 1. Really great bargain, really. Well, not a bargain, it's the yacht club. It's expensive, it's not a bargain at all, but it's nice. And speaking of the beach club, another pro was dining at Cape May Cafe. What a great buffet this was. Now, we dined there just before the characters came back, so it was much cheaper than it is now. But the food at Cape May Cafe for breakfast was also really great. Such a great buffet selection, great cast members as servers. I can only imagine that being better with the characters, albeit it's going to cost you a little bit more. So another big thumbs up for Cape May Cafe, another pro for staying at the Yacht Club. Now, this is going to seem a little bit odd as a pro, because I've just mentioned how great the pool is and you think it would attract loads of kids. But that wasn't my experience there. I don't know if I just went at a good time, but the Yacht Club wasn't a huge kids resort. There were a few families there, of course, but it didn't feel like a kid invasion. So if you're going on an adult only trip, this is probably quite a good resort for you to go to. Even the pool wasn't filled with kids, although David will complain that it was, but it actually wasn't. It wasn't too bad at all. So in terms of Disney resorts, the number of kids there was actually quite low, and I really did like that. And my last pro for the Yacht Club was the staff in the quick service restaurant and also the Bell Services staff. They were all really lovely, and I really liked the cute little sailor costumes that the Bell staff wore. Oh my goodness, they were really cute little costumes. I'm not sure that I'd get away wearing that, but yeah, they were really cool, and they were really friendly, really nice, really helpful. And also the staff in the quick service were really nice as well. Okay, so we're now going on to the cons and to the negative points. And I hate being negative about Disney, but there are some things at the Yacht Club that would kind of make me think twice about going there again. And on that point, the first negative for the Yacht Club and the first con has to be the front desk staff. They were miserable, they were rude, and they were really up themselves. I'm not talking about one person or one interaction. I'm talking about every single one that I encountered over my stay. They were the most hostile, least friendly Disney front counter staff that I've met ever at any Walt Disney World hotel. I kind of want to say to them, you know, you only work at a hotel on a front desk. Get over yourself. Of course I didn't, but that's how they made me feel. And I did wonder if it was just my impression, but since coming back, I've spoken to the rest of the WDWAO team, and they have all had similar experiences here. So I don't know what it is for that front desk, but they are not very Disney. They are not very customer service orientated. And for me, they were the biggest con of staying at the Yacht Club. My next con is probably something that I built up in my head as being a pro, that didn't turn out to be a pro. So by staying at the yacht club, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm on the Skyliner. It's a Skyliner resort. Well, actually it's not, because the walk to Epcot, as I already said, is about 10 to 15 minutes long. So don't think of this as a Skyliner resort. It is near a Skyliner, but you can't just, like, if you were staying at Riviera, just hop on and go to Hollywood Studios. You're gonna have to walk to Epcot basically to then get the Skyliner. So it's not really a con, it's just a con for me, because in my head I thought it was much closer than it actually was. The next con, and I hate to say it, I think I've got about 3 more, but the quick service restaurant. Although the staff here were lovely, the menu options and the availability of unique food was not. So the market at Ayland Compass is more of a shop that has got some food. It's more grab and go type stuff than it is sit down and eat food. They do food, but it was quite limited, and yeah, I've had much better quick service restaurants at pretty much every other resort I've stayed at. So for me, that was a bit of a negative. And I've already mentioned that I do not like Disney buses. Well, the only thing about this resort I did not like in terms of the buses was that the bus stopped at the boardwalk and the beach club as well, and that takes up so much time to do the 3 different stops. One of the things I really like about staying at a deluxe resort is generally you have a dedicated bus, but that was not the case here. It kind of went to boardwalk, dropped people off, got people on, went to beach club, dropped people off, let people get on, then to yacht club, and it just adds on so much unnecessary time to your day. And sitting on that bus and having to go and do those stops, it kind of just feels like a bit of a waste of time. I know I'm moaning first world problems, but I told you I'd be honest and give you the cons. I do not like Disney buses. I would never stay at one of those big resorts that's got kind of 5 or 6 bus stops because of the amount of time that you waste. And staying at a deluxe resort, I kind of wasn't expecting to be doing 3 drop-offs every time I got onto a bus. So yeah, again, I think that's more about me than it is about the resort, but for me, it was a con. Overall, I would say that this is a really, really nice resort. It's close to Epcot. As I said, it's not as close as it was in my head. And the staff on the front counter were definitely the worst thing about it, but I have to say, hands down, the best pool ever. Okay, on to Animal Kingdom Lodge now, and this is a resort I've stayed at before, so I do know this resort a little bit better than the Yacht Club. We stayed here for 6 nights, and we splurged a little bit, and we got the 1-bedroom villa, Savanna View in Jambo House, and oh my goodness, it was so much better than my first stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I really didn't think I would want to go and stay back there, but after this experience, yeah, it was really, really great. The animals, of course, have got to be the biggest pro of staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Where else can you go and look out of your balcony and see wildebeest, giraffes, zebras, impala, ostrich? Honestly, like, the animals here have got to be the #1 pro for anyone staying at this resort. It's just a really unique, incredible experience. So if you're gonna stay here, you really do want that Savanna View. It does cost a bit more money, but it's totally worth the cost. I probably wouldn't stay here again without a Savanna View, having done it once before. Yeah, Savanna View was a definite pro. Next, let's talk about the lobby. The lobby is huge, it's vast, it's beautifully designed, it's very kind of relaxing, and there's so many places just to sit and chill and take it all in. Such a kind of beautiful, vast space, really. And it's like a museum. If you walk around, there are so many artifacts and ornaments and pieces of art to see. So yeah, that was fantastic to go and have a look around that lobby. Go upstairs as well, go across the bridge, get some great photos up there. Honestly, the lobby is fantastic. So another huge pro for me is being in that big lobby. Kidani Village, not so much. It kind of feels like a little cheap version. So yeah, Kidani Village not so much, but Jambo House lobby is amazing. Now, unlike the Yacht Club, the front desk staff here were all really, really nice. They were all really polite, professional, welcoming. They weren't super competent, but I'll come to that in the cons, but they were really, really nice and welcoming. In fact, all the staff really, really friendly. The room we had, as I said to you before, was a 1-bedroom villa. So we had a living room, we had a kitchen, we had a dining table, we had a bedroom, we had a double balcony, 2 balconies. We had a bathroom that had a jacuzzi bath that was really, really nice as well after a long day to come and lay in there in the bubbles and relax. So yeah, the room was great. The bed was really, really comfortable as well. Absolutely love that bed. Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about the room at all. The room was perfect and it was so spacious. But of course, if you were staying there just 2 people, you probably wouldn't get that much space normally. But even the room I had before, I didn't have a Savanna View, that was just a normal standard room, was also really, really nice as well. So the rooms here are really great. Next pro for Animal Kingdom Lodge are the dining options. Now, every single restaurant at Animal Kingdom Lodge is unique. They have unique dining options and the food is just so tasty. Often African or Indian inspired. They have some really, really great and different flavours. So we've got at this resort, you've got Gico the Cooking Place, which is a signature restaurant. They have some really, really awesome food in there. We didn't eat there on this trip, but I've been there before, absolutely love it. Then Boma, Flavors of Africa, which is a buffet. They do an amazing breakfast, probably the best breakfast at Walt Disney World. And then the dinner there is awesome as well, quite reasonably priced. Sonar, if you want some Indian flavours and some kind of curries, and the bread service, all those amazing, amazing dips. Sonar is perfect. And then of course the quick service, the Mara, is also really nice. And one other pro for this resort, I would say, is that it's one of the cheaper deluxe resorts. I think it's actually the cheapest. So if you want to stay at a deluxe resort, if you don't have the budget to stretch to stay in somewhere like the Polynesian or the Contemporary, then this is a really good option because you'll get that deluxe experience for slightly less money. Okay, let's move on to the cons of Animal Kingdom Lodge, and there are a few, I'm afraid. The first for me was that although we had that amazing Savanna View, we didn't see that many animals. I think for the amount of money that we would have paid for that room and that balcony, I would like to have seen a few more animals. And I know you can't control where the animals are because they kind of will go where they want to go. But there were long periods of time where there was no animals out there at all. But yeah, that for me was a bit of a con because I wanted to sit and watch giraffes and there was no giraffe. But that is the kind of nature of the beast, as they say. The next con here for me is the size of the pool area. It just does not seem to be big enough for the number of guests that stay at this resort. Every time I've been to this pool, not just on this trip, but the trip before, it's really, really hard to find loungers. They're either all taken, or they've all got belongings on them, or towels on them. And so it's really, really hard to just go and sit and relax by the pool. And I don't like that. There's no leisure pool at this resort. There is a second pool down at Kidani Village, but that's quite a trek away. So I think the pool area is just too small for the amount of guests they have there. Next con, and I said the staff were lovely at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and they genuinely were, but they were really, really inefficient and slow. I'm not sure if they were new, if they were training, but honestly, everything that we wanted from the front desk took about 5 or 6 times longer than it needed to. I know it's meant to be a laid back lodge, but they were too laid back. And my last con is probably the one you'll hear the most said about this resort from most people, and that is that Animal Kingdom Lodge is far away from everything other than Animal Kingdom. So journey times to Disney Springs, to the other theme parks, all takes that much longer. And generally here, the bus service you would think would be kind of on it a bit more so that they could get people moved about quicker, but it's not. The buses here take quite a long time to come. They're quite heavily loaded, and I just think that if that's the only transportation option available to guests is to use those buses to get about, they probably need to have a few more. But yeah, it's far away from everything apart from Animal Kingdom, and the buses don't come often enough for me. So overall, a very warm, friendly resort, of course with something completely unique that you will not find anywhere else at Disney. And in fact, probably you won't find it many other places in the world. We had masses and masses of space, and of course that jacuzzi bath was absolutely everything. So yeah, the room was great, it was comfy, it was just a perfect stay really. As I said before, if you're going to stay here, you probably do want that Savanna View room. Just to stay here without it would kind of be a little bit pointless, which is how I felt after my first day, because I had to go down to go to the viewing area and see the animals. and you can do that for free when you're staying somewhere else. And as I said, I think the worst thing about this resort is probably just how far away it is from everything other than Animal Kingdom. This resort would really benefit from a Skyliner stop. So if they do decide to extend the Skyliner, I really hope this place is on the map, because that would just complete it and make it a perfect resort. So the last day of our trip was at Disney's Grand Floridian, and we got to stay in one of those new DVC Resort Studios, recently refurbished, and we stayed there for 4 nights with a theme park view. Now we used our DVC points we purchased last year for that 4 nights, or some of them. We had some left which we carried over to this year. But we used some of our points to stay there, and oh my goodness, it was a childhood dream come true. I remember back in 1994 coming round the corner on the monorail with my mum, dad and brother, and saying as a teenager, one day I am going to stay there. And I did. So let's talk about the Grand Floridian. As I mentioned, we had the theme park view, and that was very nice. Probably a bit of a splurge. I probably wouldn't pay for it again, but yeah, we had a theme park view. We could see Magic Kingdom from our veranda. I did request a high floor and a particular room via touring plans. I didn't get that. We got the ground floor, which initially I was a bit disappointed with, but actually, you know, all in all, you know, very good view. I actually like being on the ground floor as well. So as it turned out, I was really happy. But yeah, let's talk about the pros of the Grand Floridian. The resort was just perfect. It was so well maintained. Everything just looked absolutely immaculate. Our room was, as I said, newly refurbished, so everything was kind of brand new almost, and it just looked lovely, you know, with the subtle Mary Poppins touches as well. It felt very grown up, very elegant, very sophisticated, and of course you can see Magic Kingdom from the balconies. Next pro has to be the monorail. I've never stayed at a monorail resort before, and the convenience of being able to hop on the monorail to go to one of the other deluxe resorts or to go to Magic Kingdom was just so convenient. Yeah, I really like the benefit of having the monorail. Somebody who doesn't like buses, this was a perfect option. And of course there's boat transportation as well, which is something else that I really love. So you can get the boat across, which is really relaxing. The boat also goes to the Polynesian. And you can change at Magic Kingdom to get a boat across to Wilderness Lodge and also to Fort Wilderness too. Something that's quite new as well at the Grand Floridian, which I found to be a pro, was the walking path. So when you come out of Magic Kingdom late at night and there's a big queue for the monorail, a big queue for the boat, a big queue for the buses, you can just walk back to your resort. Now, it wasn't a short walk, it was a good, I'm going to say 10 to 15 minute walk. It was quicker than actually waiting and trying to get on and then get off. So yeah, the walking path for me was a huge pro. Let's talk about the staff, as they were a pro as well. And despite the grandeur and the fact you might think they're a little bit up themselves and a little bit kind of snooty, they really were not. Every single cast member we met at the Grand Floridian was really lovely, really friendly, really helpful. There is nothing bad to say. Even on the front desk where I thought, oh no, these are going to be a little bit up themselves, like the Yacht Club, they really were not. Another huge pro again for me was the dining options. Citrico's for the most amazing, romantic, beautiful special dinner. My new favourite restaurant. Who thought I'd be saying that? California Grill has had that title forever, and here we are, I'm telling you that Citrico's has now taken it. So another huge pro, Citrico's. In addition to Citrico's, they have some really great dining options here. Narcose's is really popular. I've not been there, but I'm hoping going to try that later this year. They also have 1900 Park Fair, which is currently closed. And they've got the Grand Floridian Cafe, which is just beautiful. The Enchanted Rose Lounge, which is awesome. And then the Gasparilla Island Grill quick service also has some really great unique options as well. So this resort has got some really great places to dine at. We loved Gasparilla Island Grill. We got some great bits and pieces in there during our stay. And before COVID, that restaurant used to be 24 hours a day, so that might come back as well. It was one of the only 24-hour restaurants at Walt Disney World. We stayed in the Big Pine Key building, and right outside there was a swimming pool. It wasn't the main pool, we didn't actually go to the main pool, but this pool here was really nice. It had lounges available all the time that we were there, so that was a big plus for us. We didn't use the main pool, we did go and have a quick look at it, it looked really nice. Certainly the pool by the big Pine Key building always had loungers, and it was a really, really nice place to go and chill and relax. Next pro, I guess I'm going to kind of summarize as location. You're so close to so many great things. You're nice and close to Magic Kingdom, as I said before, monorail boat, or you can walk there. You're close to the Polynesian, which you can walk to. You can also walk to the Contemporary if you really want to. It's going to be quite a long walk, because you'll go via Magic Kingdom and then take the other walking path to Contemporary. So yeah, you're so well situated in terms of being immersed in the magic. You get to see the electric water pageant on the lagoon at night. You can see the fireworks from your balcony and from the resort. So these are all really great things to help you feel immersed in that Disney magic, and I really, really love that. This resort also has one pro that I didn't get to use, and that is a full service spa. So if you want to kind of have like the ultimate relaxation, you've got quite a lot of money to spend, because it is not cheap in there, but they've got a full service spa, and I believe it's one of only 2 Walt Disney World resorts that have got this, Saratoga Springs being the other one. Now onto the cons, and I can tell you this is the shortest list of cons that I've been able to write for these 3 resorts. So the thing with the Grand Floridian is that you are in outer buildings, unless you're in the main building, of course, where the lobby is. A lot of guests will be staying in outer buildings, and when it absolutely pours with rain, you have to get soaking wet to go and get anything. So if you want to get a drink, if you want to go and get the monorail, you're going to get wet, you know, and we experienced this. Like, it was absolutely pouring, the heavens opened, and it was absolutely bucketing it down, and we needed to get to California Grill for our dinner. So this was a huge con for me, because I got soaked. If you're in a hotel that's all in one building, like Animal Kingdom Lodge, you don't have that same challenge, as it were. Surprisingly, there were no umbrellas left by the doors, and I'm pretty sure that on previous trips when I've been to Grand Floridian, not stayed there, but I'm pretty sure I saw umbrellas by the doors so you could kind of keep yourself dry as you walk between the buildings, but there were no umbrellas. So I'm not sure if I've got that wrong, if they've been taken away, what happened there, but if I stay there again, I'm taking an umbrella, and I advise you to do the same as well. The next con, and it's not really a con, it's a little bit first worldy again, but the monorail to Epcot is a bit of a mission. So you think, oh yeah, I'm on the monorail, it's going to be great, Epcot's nice and nearby. It actually took quite a long time to get to Epcot, so you have to get on the monorail at Grand Floridian, go via Magic Kingdom, via the Contemporary, and then round to Ticket and Transportation Centre, and then you have to change monorails, and I have to say that it's a bit of a walk. You know, they're not just kind of just stepping across from one platform to another. You have to go kind of down and then round and then back up again. And then you've got to wait for another monorail, which then takes you to Epcot. And in my head, it was going to be much quicker, but it actually was a little bit of a mission. So if you're going to use the monorail to get to Epcot, just bear that in mind. And on to bus transportation. The only little negative here was that the bus was shared with the Polynesian on quite a few occasions. And as you know, I'm not the biggest Disney bus fan anyway, and I don't like multiple stops and drop-offs and pickups. It wasn't horrendous because the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian are very close by. But again, I would have liked to have seen dedicated buses for those deluxe resorts. Anyway, other than these few little things, it was just absolutely perfect. It was everything that I hoped it would be, and lots more. Now, I know the Grand Floridian isn't going to be to everybody's taste, and some people find it too fancy, as my American friends would say, but it really wasn't. It was just nice. It felt homely, it felt relaxing, it was close to everything. Honestly, what is there not to love? So it will be of no surprise to you to tell you that the Grand Floridian Resort was my favourite of these 3 resorts. Now, I was so lucky to be able to stay at all of them, and you know, I genuinely am really grateful that I got the chance to stay at these 3 hotels, and I'm picking up little tiny things just to try and help you decide which one might be best for you. But ultimately they're all amazing, and I would stay at any of them, but the Grand Floridian was just the best of the 3. In second place, it has to be Animal Kingdom Lodge. Yes, I know I complained about how far away it is, but also as well, that is really, really relaxing. It has the most amazing restaurants, and of course being able to see animals out on the savannah was just unique, special, different. Yeah, I loved it. Animal Kingdom Lodge was really nice. I enjoyed it much more than my first stay there. As for the Yacht Club, I probably wouldn't choose to stay here again. If you're offering me a free trip to go and stay there, I'll stay there all day long. You know, there is nothing wrong with the Yacht Club. But just of these three, it's my third choice, and I probably wouldn't choose to stay there again. It was just a little bit too stuffy, and the front desk staff were just a little bit too miserable, and it was just a little bit further from Epcot than I thought it was going to be. So, third place, the Yacht Club. If I was going to stay in the Epcot kind of resort area again, I would probably choose the Beach Club. Get the benefit of the pool, but the Beach Club had a more kind of laid back, more fun vibe about it. So I probably would want to try the Beach Club. I've also got this ambition where I want to stay at every Walt Disney World Resort hotel at some point. Not done the Beach Club yet, so if I was going to go back to that area, I think I would probably try the Beach Club rather than go back to the Yacht Club. But as I said before, if you're going to give me a free trip, then I'll stay at the Yacht Club. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Really, really nice resort. And I said before, the pool is the best at Walt Disney World. And just as a little add-on, I will just say to you as well that I think the Riviera Resort is a bit of a game changer. So if you want to stay in that kind of Epcot area, you've got a deluxe resort with really great dining options, and you've got the Skyliner that goes in both directions, located at the hotel, so you can get to Epcot and you can get to Hollywood Studios from that one resort. So I think that might be a little bit of a game changer going forward. Look at the Riviera Resort as well. I'm also going to run a poll linked to this video over in our Facebook group. So if you're not in our Facebook group, come and join us today. I will link it for you in the description down below. And I'm also going to ask Mickey if she will put a kind of story poll vote thing on our Instagram as well. So if you're not following us on Instagram, I'll put a link to that up here somewhere so you know how to follow us, find us, follow us. You know what to do. Come on, come and join us on Facebook and Instagram. Right, so that's that. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you like our channel, please ensure you are subscribed with the little notification bell clicked so that you get told when our videos come out. And for now, all that remains is to remember to never grow up.